This is Comet Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick. What's going on? How was your Christmas?
My Christmas is great. How about yours, John?
Oh, pretty good. Same. We celebrate the same pagan holidays. It's great.
Indeed, yes, sir.
you know, decorate with the old tree, and everything else. That's
And throw out like lots of money to celebrate gifts to the people we love.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, what do you have on tap for us tonight, sir?
All right, so I'm talking about something that I've been writing about for a while, and that is Inuyashiki by Hiroyu Oku. Now, longtime listeners and readers may know that that I've talked about him many times before. Back when his series Gantz was being published by Dark Horse. Now, I kind of enjoyed Gantz overall. It's like in the sense that it's a series that started off being like directly like targeted to like people who were in touch with their inner 15-year-olds, and that's like a science fiction like action kill game that you got people who are like who have been dead people who've been resurrected to fight aliens that are stuck on Earth, and even though it had some really rough patches, there was lots of really impressive action, like, and even some decent character development, like over the course of its 37 volumes. Now, the thing is, though, it's like like Oku was working on that series for like a good long while. And it's like this is something that it started off like clearly aimed at like people who were either actual 15-year-olds or people who are still in touch with their inner 15-year-old. Now Inuyashiki is a series that it's coming right on the heels of Gantz, and it also seems kind of like he's like making a giant rebuttal to it. That basically like the 15-year-olds who really like Gantz, it's like him like raising a giant middle finger to them and telling them to get off my lawn. It's like in the process. Because the title character of Inuyashiki is Ichiro Inuyashiki. He is a much older than he appears 58-year-old man who as we're introduced to him has just managed to buy a house for his family, but they're kind of like bitching to him about it because it turns out to be like in the shadow of a much larger apartment complex. And you look at this guy and you think he's just like your standard trod upon like aged salaryman. It's like not respected by his wife, his daughter, it's like or his son. In fact, his daughter basically says that she pretends that it's like when like to her friends, she tells him, "Hey, he's not really my dad. He's my grandpa," because he looks that old. And that's awful right there. But as it turns out, there's actually a reason why he looks so much older than he is. Because it turns out, as he goes to a secondary doctor's checkup after his test results come back saying, "Hey, you need more testing," and he's got terminal stomach cancer. It's like turns out he's only got like about a couple months to live, and even then he can't he's so just so passive that he can't quite bring himself to tell his family that he's going to die, and that they're going to have to find their way to live without him. So as he's walking his brand new, like the dog he bought a brand new Shiba Inu, it's like one night and he realizes that it's like nobody cares, nobody cares for me at all, and this park he walks to turns out that there's a bright light in the sky, and then boom, he's dead, vaporized, along with some other kid who happens to be standing at the park right next to him. Because it turns out that some aliens actually were conducting some unsanctioned weapons test, and they and in order to cover up their actions, they decide to just we're going to rebuild these two people with the things we have on hand. Oh wait, the only things we've got on hand are weapons grade bodies that can have the power to destroy their home planet. No, let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to just like leave them to it. Well, there you go. So Inuyashiki-san wakes up, goes home, and at first, realizes that thinks that nothing has gone wrong until he realizes that can't cry, like that he doesn't feel anything, and that he really needs lots of water to survive. And then at a private part when he's in his room, real starts like disassembling his activates his body and realizes that oh my god, like I'm turned into some robot. It's like I'm no longer Ichiro Inuyashiki. It's like, and he's worried about what can I. It's like if I'm no longer the person I am, how can I continue to be a father? And then as he's planning on leaving his family, he helps a homeless man who has coincidentally just decided to manage to get back with his old girlfriend and turn his life around. Then some homeless hunters, a bunch of high school kids, come along and try to beat his ass to death because that's what homeless hunters do in Japan. And then Inuyashiki with his robot body decides to intervene and not only saves the homeless man but also broadcasts the identities of the kids who were beating him up as the it's like in the process. So this is it's like hey, it's like he's so Inuyashiki now has kind of a vocation. He's going to help as many people as he can with his new robot body. Now the one of the reasons I bring up the whole "get off my lawn" bit is because a good portion of Inuyashiki does feel like it's it is very negative towards young kids. In fact, the main antagonist of the series is the other kid who was vaporized along with Inuyashiki-san, Hiro Shishigami. And Shishigami, basically, after he's vaporized, he realizes that the only way I can feel human again is to kill other people. It's like nobody matters. No one else matters to me except for my friends and my family. And as the second volume picks up, we see him just picking a random household just to go in and kill the family inside. And it's like it's going to be the old, honorable, downright saintly Inuyashiki versus this young psychopath who now has the same abilities as he does. And it's like, as rereading this, it's it's like if you think that focusing on someone as saintly as Inuyashiki would be kind of boring, I honestly think that even if Oku doesn't openly acknowledge that in the manga, I think his the way he handles the story does kind of play that out. I mean, in the there's one in the third volume we get a volume length story where this one burly fucking giant Yakuza giant decides to it's like, hey, here's a little girl. It's like here's just this young little woman. It's like, and I'm gonna make her mine. And it turns out she's a nice, cute little girl who has decided to get married to her average boyfriend. But it's like, hey, it's like this big Yakuza guy is taking an interest in her. It's like, and now it's like she's gonna have to pay the price. And hey, Inuyashiki shows up, and after things get bad, and he helps save them, and it's like very straightforward and plays out as exactly as predictably as you'd expect. And for the next couple volumes, Oku's focus is primarily on Shishigami, as he it's like as he just keeps killing people, but also tries to make things better, make a better life for his mom. But Japanese law enforcement has other ideas once they find out hey, he's the kid who's been killing everyone. We got to take him down. But he's like an invincible killing machine robot. How do you do that? It's like it goes about as well as you expect. And then Shishigami winds up hanging out with this one girl who confessed to him. She's like, I really like you, Shishigami. It's like he's like, oh, I remember you. You're Pube Head. The one everyone that's your nickname for the class. And it's like, yeah, he's a really classy guy. In case you hadn't gotten gotten that idea. But he winds up hanging out with her and actually developing like an actual kind of connection with her. She winds up actually like convincing him that you shouldn't kill people because that's bad. And as he realizes that hey, she's not too bad. Maybe I should actually kind of listen to her and what she says. And even as he decides, hey, you know what? Maybe I should stop killing people. And listen to this girl. What this girl says, like, hey, maybe I could actually redeem myself, man. Then the Japanese SWAT team shows up and kind of murders everyone. Oops. And then Shishigami then goes, oh, now I'm just gonna that was obviously no way that I can live in peace now. Like, even though I'm trying to redeem myself, but it's like, if you guys won't let me do it, then hey, I'm just going to go ahead and murder everyone in Japan. I'm going to declare war on the country. And then the narrative shifts back to bringing in Inuyashiki-san. And so yeah, that's really like that's how kind of like the first 8 volumes go. It's like, I mean, it's even like, it seems like Oku realizes that after a certain point that it's like focusing on a psychopath like Shishigami is kind of more interesting than like the saintly, than focusing on a born again straight arrow like Inuyashiki. I mean, we never find out that if he's at any like dark secrets, or if he's even or needs like challenges to his persona. I mean, all we see him do are good things. It's like we never see anyone like try to co-opt him for their own agenda. It's like it's very Inuyashiki is a very straightforward black and white series in terms of morality. Like it plays out very predictably in terms of like how you'd expect things to go. Now, that's not to say that Oku doesn't manage some impressive sequences. It's like, because as Gantz demonstrated time and time again, he is a great storyteller when it comes to like depicting action. And as awful as they can be to read through, it's like some of the action scenes with Shishigami are still impressive, assuming you can get past the fact that that the Japan like police and SWAT have just haven't realized that this guy is completely beyond their capabilities to deal with. And there's even a great sequence, it's like in volume 7, where it's like Shishigami takes control of several planes and tries to crash them into Tokyo, and only partially succeeds after Inuyashiki tries to save them. That's a really great sequence, because he also takes his time to set up, get you to care about the people involved, who are on one of the planes. So yeah, there's some great action here, like no doubt. But what's holding the series back overall is this familiar black and white morality to it. It's like just like there are only there's only really good people on one side and really bad people like on the other. I mean, well, it's people, not people, persons. It's like it's only Inuyashiki versus Shishigami. And so and to be perfectly honest, I'm not quite old enough to the point where I can really get behind the whole young kids, get off my lawn style of thinking that's really at work here, because it does feel like Oku is pandering to a certain extent to the to an older audience here. In fact, he even engages in some rebuttal of his previous work, because as one of the supporting characters, one of Shishigami's friends, who becomes an ally of Inuyashiki's, he's identified early on as a big fan of Gantz, and as Shishigami says, "Hey, yo, you're a fan of that shitty Gantz manga? It's all about shitty violence and all." Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I see. Okay, so you've moved past catering to 15-year-olds, and now you're catering to 50-year-olds now. Gotcha. That's what you're doing here. And it's like, and overall, it's like, it's like to be honest, like for all its problems, I did enjoy Gantz more than Inuyashiki, even if its storytelling did go off the rails at certain points. It's like at least it wasn't, it's like like overly pandering to me in terms of morality. I mean, yeah, it's like there were clear good guys and bad guys in that series, but it's like it was more concerned with the awesome awesome violence and action sequences that erupted from like humans versus the aliens in there. Inuyashiki, it's like I said, it's more about it's like there's some good action here, but it's more about just it's like, hey, it's like the older generation, it's like they've got what it takes here, and that's really clear in the final two volumes as one of the background threats of the series comes to the foreground, and it forces like Inuyashiki and eventually Shishigami to make some hard choices about how they want to like how they want to carry on. It's like in face of global Armageddon. So, and it's also worth noting that our glorious president also has an extended cameo in Volume 9. And while I'd love to dwell on this more, I will say that after reading it, Oku pretty much nails exactly what I'd expect our president to say. It's like in the face of global annihilation. It's one of those things where it's even though the characters in the series react like, no, what he said, what? I look at it and go, yep, that's about right. That's all I'll say there. But I also want to say that that without getting into the specifics of how Volume 10 turns out, the conclusion played out about as how I expected. But it's also worth noting that there are several nods to Michael Bay's seminal asteroid impact action film Armageddon in here. Is Inuyashiki's climax a little more intelligent than that? Yeah. Is it? I don't know. I don't think that it's kind of like. But then again, when you start off like as far into the negatives as Armageddon was, raising things, the climax of Inuyashiki doesn't quite raise things into the positive. So there you go. The finale, it's fine, but it's exactly what you'd expect. It's like no real surprises. I mean, even Shishigami's sacrifice in the end does make sense concerning his limited worldview there. So, like overall, it's like, I mean, is Inuyashiki actually worth reading? Well, I guess if you really like Gantz and well, I don't know. It's like if you really like Gantz, then you might actually be kind of turned off by the anti young person vibe in the series. I guess like Inuyashiki kind of depends like how much you're willing to get into that whole like the old guy saves us all. It's like the previous the old generation knows what they're doing and they can offer everything they can to help save us. So there you go. It's like, I mean, there have been some comparisons to like Breaking Bad, but really no, it's not like that at all. It's like if Walter White decided to become a superhero instead of a meth dealer. So like Inuyashiki, like I said, it to its credit, it sets out to do exactly what it says. I mean, to present a heroic version of a old person character who had kind of given up on life, at the start of things. It's like, and then from there it plays out in the most straightforward way that you can imagine. It's probably why the series has also found success as an anime and is getting a live action film version like next year, because it's a narrative that people can easily grasp onto it and enjoy. So, and God knows that Japan, with its all of its aged population, probably loves this idea of the old guy really sticking it to the young person and showing you like, hey, this is how people should live. It's like, and this is how people should live and sacrifice themselves for the good of everyone. So, gotta hand it to him for candidly understanding what Japan wants. For the rest of us, it's like it's fine. It's like I Oku has another series that he's gonna be starting soon. I can only hope that there's some kind of some kind of moral ambiguity here that takes away from the black and white stuff of Inuyashiki, or at least makes it less apparent that he's catering to a specific demographic. So there you go. John, any thoughts on your end about all this?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was yelling at the kids on my lawn, making noise.
I see what you did there.
So you're not even saying this is a mild recommend?
Well, it's like if you like yelling at the kids on your lawn, then Inuyashiki was clearly made for you. So you should go ahead and buy it right now. If you're not the kind of person who yells at the kids on your lawn, then maybe give this a pass.
All right. Do you know what you're going to talk about next time?
Well, next time will bring us into 2018. So I guess it's time for a best of retrospective. And wow, this is gonna take some work. So I mean, there wasn't anything that grabbed me as it did last year. But well, I can definitely do my best to try and find 10 series to recommend as the best of what 2017 had to offer.
All right. Well, we'll see you next year on Comic Picks by the Glick.
That's right.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.